What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Savage Land. Welcome back to another episode of Soapbox. Yep, I know I put out one yesterday, man, but we right back at it again because I totally forgot that Marvel Legends was having a live stream today. And I kind of took it with a grain of salt. I believe Marvel Legends has been doing a good job this year, and for the latter part of last year, pretty much, I would say all last year, but really the halfway point of last year coming on into this year, they really been trying to kick it in gear and get themselves back in position to be one of the better brands of action figure collecting, and I think they are. I actually always think they have been. They have slipped and failed for a couple of years there. A little bit after 2021, 2020, they were kind of sputtering, man, and really seemed like on some parts trying to get a cash grab here. But what's been going on with Marvel Legends within the past year, man, is they've been really gearing it up, ramping it up because of their counterparts, their brothers, Gijoe from the Hasbro brand, the actual Hasbro baby, the firstborn, you say, with Hasbro, because Marvel Legends, of course, was Marvel property now owned by Disney, but they got the license to make the figures. So they're in the same family now as far as action figure wise, man. And G.I. Joe, for the past, man, really ever since the line kind of launched, for the past 2 years or 3 years, I would say, have really been eating the better part of the cake as far as the Hasbro fanfare. They've really been putting out some banging figures. They've really been stepping their game up and listening to fans. And even though they have a bunch of repaints, sometimes their repaints are so good you just gotta grab them, or it's hard choosing like which one is better. Like for instance, the Recondo or the Tonal Rat. Both two great figures, but it's like, okay, which one do I need? Oh, I guess I need both on that sense. But right now, I'm about to quickly talk about the Marvel Legends live stream reveal today. Now, like I said, I took this with a grain of salt. When I first looked at it, I came in on the end because I was riding around for work or whatnot, and I seen the Ghost Rider figure. And I was like, okay, they on to something too. And just a side note, I'm glad I didn't cop that retro card Ghost Rider, which it had a beautiful card or whatnot, but it was pretty much a Ghost Rider that had been put out for several years, probably ever since 2018 or 2017. They were using that same body, which I didn't have a problem with. I thought it was pretty cool. What I didn't like was that the price started raising on it. Even at Big Bad Toy Store, it started ending up becoming like $31 when it originally started off like a $25 figure. But that was no more than 4 or 5, at the most 6 months ago, and now they have this new Ghost Rider with a brand new body on it, or updated body that looks a lot better. And it's not the Johnny Blaze. As you can see, I got the fat fresh Ghost Rider shirt on from Culture Kings. Not the Johnny Blaze like on this shirt, but the Danny Ketch, which I remember him mostly for his bike in the 90s, that big shield in the front, and they got that. But we'll go through that. Let's start off first with my boy Wolverine. This is Astonishing X-Men Wolverine, which I know nothing about. I'm not into really the later parts of the X-Men comics. I know some major things are going on where they're kind of living in a kind of like the House of X. They're living in a realm that I believe Emma Frost has created for them. But hey, if you correct me in the comments, I don't read that line or anything like that, but this new Wolverine, as far as the toy wise, looks really good and clean. I'm definitely will be copying him. He goes up for pre-order tomorrow. He has the blue and yellow, but it's not Tiger Stripe. It's almost kind of mixed between Tiger Stripe and first appearance Wolverine with the shortened cowl. But let's talk about the articulation. They're starting to come around with it. Look like they're going to basically eventually try to give every figure that abdominal cut and that ab crunch, pinless joints, which I'm cool with pins or without pins, but what I most like is the abdominal cut with the ab crunch. That gives a super articulated figure, which I think all of their figures should be, because they're superheroes. So why wouldn't they be super articulated? This Wolverine is different too, because he comes with several different hands that point, and just different expressions, set of fists, claw fist. And that's what Wolverine usually comes with. They just started throwing in extra head sculpts where he has an unmask and mask, which this one has also. I think that's a regular point of $25. And all this information right here, the deep information I'm getting from Lyle's Figure File. So shout out to him. He even got the prices on them. I believe he said Wolverine will be $25 and going up for pre-order tomorrow. Also, another thing, everything seems like besides this Warbird is across the board pretty much on channel fan channels. You can get them pretty much anywhere online, but great looking figure. Next up, let's talk about the Superior Spider-Man. Now, I think I have the original. He's like gray, black, and green, like some little tentacles on the back. But this one's more like kind of like that Iron Spider, I believe. The tentacles pop out from the movie. Pretty dope looking figure. Like I said, I'm not Spider-Man crazy, but I like Spider-Man. This one right here. I think I could mess with this one right here, to be honest with you. I don't think he's super articulated in the ab crunch. He might be. Like I said, they're switching everybody to that. But as far as his aesthetic, he looks really good. And the one noticeable thing I'll mention about this is they gave him a cityscape in his eyelids, like it's reflecting off his eyes as he swings through. And then he also has another regular head sculpt, man. But also another cool figure. I think Lau said this one was $30, man. And I believe he's going up for pre-order tomorrow too. Now, up next is the only exclusive, I believe, is Target's Warbird. I like this outfit. It's definitely looks good. It looks good in toy form too. And what she has is this super articulated body that Black Widow has. Abdomen crunch. Abdominal cut, abdomen crunch, double jointed arms, double jointed legs, of course, pinless. And then she has kind of like a muscular body with 2 head sculpts. I'm liking this. I'm feeling this. I'm definitely grabbing this. That Wolverine, this girl right here, Warbird, Captain Marvel. I'm definitely grabbing these 2. That Spider-Man, I don't know. That's up in the air. But Warbird will be a Target exclusive, and I'm not sure when it's dropping just yet. And then up next, we also have Skaar Hulk son. Like a lot of people, even Lau said it. This is not what I'm totally gravitating to, but I'm a guy who has a huge Hulk collection. I'm looking at them now. I probably have 15 Hulks standing up there, from Marvel Select to Marvel Legends, and this will be a great Hulk to put in with my Gladiator Hulk from Marvel Select. Those 2 will look really good together. My mind, you know how my mind works. It gets to working on photos. What can I group together? What can I group together? What characters can I put together that's not necessarily known for a team, but the color aesthetics look good. The way they laid out, their basic aesthetic look good. And this is more, I believe he probably came from Gladiator Hulk. I'm not sure. Please, hey, roast me in the comments if you want. But he has that jungle look to him. So I really don't know the backdrop on this kid. I never really read a story on Skaar, but he has, once again, 2 different head sculpts. The 2 big knives, almost kind of like Conan swords, and he looks really good. He looks really good. The only thing I'm not too sure about is the articulation with the hair, because it comes over his shoulders, and you know how that can be with the plastic hair. It can really limit articulation, not unless it's soft and pliable. And I'm not too sure when this one drops yet. I don't think they have a date for it yet, but if it is, I'll have it up here. And next up, we have the 2-pack, which is Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Classic Iron Fist. Once again, he has the super articulated body with the ab crunch and the ab cut, so he can crouch down and really do some kung fu hands. Now, they also gave him kung fu hands in there. Like, he has like 8 hands, so like 4 sets of hands, which they did with Shang-Chi. They did with a couple other kung fu characters. They did with Quick Kick with G.I. Joe, and he looks very on point. I'm not a huge Iron Fist fan, but like if I'm strolling through GameStop and I see this 2-pack, this is something I'll probably pick up and use my GameStop $5 off on, or if I see it on Amazon. It's just one of them times like, hey, I don't have these guys. They look very good. Let me grab them. The last Luke Cage I seen like this was in a 2-pack from the MCU. No, the Netflix Marvel series where he came with my girl Rosario Dawson. I believe she played the character on there. They came in a 2-pack, I believe, but he was more like realistic. This is comic book Luke Cage right here. That's the last one I got. That's a great fodder body, that old Luke Cage, for the more realistic like people in the crowd. But this one right here looks good. He's big, he's buff, looks like he can really move, looks like he can move better than that last Power Man that they came out with, which was only a couple of months ago, kind of like in a dark Avengers wave. But both of these figures are solid. All of these figures that I just told you about are solid, whether you're feeling them like it's your cup of tea or not. They're solid figures, and Marvel Legends is not playing. All these figures I could cop on a whim, to be quite honest with you. But this 2-pack is not up for pre-order yet. And let's circle back around to the Ghost Rider, the Danny Ketch. Great looking bike. I believe Lau said that was like $50, which is not bad. I thought it would probably been 54, but we all know the Marvel Legends Classic Riders started off at 30, ended up at 40, now it's at 50. And for what you get with this set, I think it's totally worth it for the time we in now. I think it's great. They updated the Ghost Rider. The bike looks good. It just has the permanent fire tire, because that's what you need with Ghost Rider. Why would you want to see him ride on a regular bike? And plus, if you have the old Punisher bike, you can switch to that when he's a regular guy. The messed up thing about this is it's not as cheap as it used to be, but hey, times have moved on. That Punisher bike, I built like 7 of those back in 2020, and I was buying them off eBay with people busting down that pack, and they were selling them for 22 bucks. Will this happen with this? I don't know. I hope it does. I hope people do bust down the packs and sell these bikes for $30. That'll be worth army building, or 25. I highly doubt that, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. May not ever see him bust down. But bike looks great. Has the up and down retractable shield, so you can ram in the front. Has dings, pits on it. Has the speedometer, gas gauge, man. So it looks like a pretty awesome looking bike. And then pretty much what they did with the engines of vengeance, they gave him fire and pill out effects. He even has an effect where he can pop a wheelie, which I love. Popping wheelies and photo shots with the bikes that I do have, man. And this Ghost Rider right here, I believe it has 2 head scopes, but it has plenty of accessories. Great updated body. He's not tall and lanky. He's built out. With the new Marvel Legends body, they're more buffer. Even like with G.I. Joe, when they come out with the newer figures from this year, from 2 years ago, they're buffer. They're bigger, man. And this is a great offering. I'm definitely gonna be down to cop these. This set right here, it's basically like the Legend set, the Rider set, but they plan it off like 85 years. It's always some type of damn anniversary. Next year will be the 86th anniversary. What we gonna do with that? You know what I'm saying? But far as figure wise, all these shits solid. Now, far as the clashing between the two brother lines, G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends, like Lau said, man, it has a strong sense of like taking over this year. To be honest with you, if they keep pumping out great figures like this, they definitely can take over and try to fight for that #1 spot. And why not do it in-house? You sitting here, they're down the hall banging it out, and they've been rubbing it in your face for 2 years. Now it's time for you to get back. You fell down, get up. And like I've said, I made an episode about 2 months ago, Marvel Legends losing their luster while gaining traction. To be honest with you, and the losing the luster is still that lingering, stinking, rotten egg effect from the Engines of Vengeance still hanging over. 2 years later now, time goes by fast. And but what I'm seeing is that they're building it up. I thought they did pretty good with that Avenger. That was some sleeper type ordeal, and then it did help out that they did go on sale, but there were other releases also too. I thought that MCU Green Goblin looked good. They did a great Blob last year. That Crystar is a sleeper too. A lot of people don't know about that, but that Crystar is basically a body mold for Iceman, man. So if they're pumping them out, the Wolverine 2-packs was looking good this year. They got a great She-Hulk coming out. Today was the day right here where I was like, you know what? At the end of the year, I'm doing Marvel Legends versus G.I. Joe countdown or something in that order to kind of cap this year off. We're just getting through the first quarter of the year, and Marvel Legends is already pumped out 10 characters I could do a top 10 with. And then that's where it's really coming from, because last year, in the last couple of years, I haven't had a Marvel Legends top 10. They just kind of got blended in with other lines, but they have enough meat on the bone to do a top 10 this year. And then this year with G.I. Joe, remember last year I did, which is one of my biggest videos. That shows you that y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. Y'all love that negativity, that the 10 worst G.I. Joes were all great G.I. Joes. They just had flaws, and that's just what I picked from, and people ate that shit up too. But I don't think they're gonna put out any bad releases or QC issues this year, man. So that's kind of almost out the window, I can see. So what perfect and then I keep still want to say MCU because that shit sucks, but Marvel Legends comic figures and MCU, but most part is what's making this ball turn now is comic figures versus G.I. Joe, and that's gonna be a good head-to-head battle. I'm trying to think how I want to do it. Should I take top 10 Marvel Legends versus top 10 G.I. Joe, or just simply make an episode of G.I. Joe versus Marvel Legends? But I think I'll match off the top 10s, man. But Marvel Legends is looking really, really good. It's almost, I ain't gonna front. I cop 2 of some figures. Like I cop 2 Cables, which that's another good figure. Some people are gonna complain about the arms being long, but look, I'm not a meticulous dude like that, man. That sucker looks really good. I cop 3 Cable figures. Don't tell nobody. But I copped 2 She-Hulks, and of course I copped 2 Wolverine and Sabretooth 2-packs. So stuff like that is not for me like to resell. Stuff is like that for me for 10 years. Look up and be like, damn, that looks good. They did a good job on that, because some figures you look at in your collection, they still just really can't be beaten. If they made a counterpart that's newer and up to date, you still keep that figure around. Like the Blob, the old Blob, I still keep that figure on my shelf. He looks great. He's great shelf presence. He's perfect for where he sits now, retired at the retirement home. And the newer one, that's the one that's gonna get busy. And and Big Bad Toy Store had the Blob up again. I brought another one there just to have another one in the cut, like for real, for real. But it's G.I. Joe versus Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends is like, hey, I need this crown. I need this crown. Y'all gotta come up off that. Y'all gotta come up off that. And I think that Giant Man is gonna be smashing this year. And also, I don't know if it's still up. I didn't have a chance to check, but I was watching Louds. I just got home. Hank Pym and Janet's Wasp. I don't know if it's Van Dyke. I keep wanting to say Dick Van Dyke and all that, but that's back up. So I'll probably go ahead and grab that, because I'm gonna try to get me a Giant Man. And just it's wonderful. What a wonderful time to be alive for figures. But G.I. Joe versus Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends on that ass. Something serious. Something serious. They might take the crown. I was talking about Jada, Street Fighter, but they need to get their weight up. Marvel Legends been got their weight up. They just had to get their traps back together and get them back booming. And they jumping. They jumping. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about these new reveals? Will you be getting any? This is the Savage Land. We do this for the love and beauty of action figures. If you can, give me a like, comment, subscribe. And with that being said, until the next time, God bless.